This card don't read so good. Wake up. This card in the set. What the hell is this? Best in show. All right, what's up, my friends? Welcome to the Edge of Eternities complete set review. If you're just tuning in, you missed white, blue, black, red, and green. But I got good news for you. They're all on YouTube. All right, so make sure you hop onto YouTube and check all those out as well. Leave a like, leave a comment. Please support the show here. A lot of work goes into the set review, like a lot. And even carpets and some work. And you support the show by leaving a comment, liking every video. Don't be shy. The Karn's leaving, never mind. Thanks, Karn. Thanks for coming to work today. Appreciate that. And yeah, so going over all the cards in the set, giving out the awards we usually give, and so on and so forth. Don't forget that 10 New Brews is going to be this coming Wednesday, July 23rd at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and up on YouTube to follow. Going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. And now we're going to rock and roll. So let's get into our multicolor section, which is a lot smaller than it usually is. There only are 25 cards in multicolor, which is the least it's been in a very long time. So let's jump in to Ephariel Dreaming Acolyte. This is our Signpost uncommon for blue-black. Those who don't know, for draft, there's always these Signpost uncommons. These are multicolor cards that kind of tell you what the color pair is all about in draft. So you know what kind of deck you're supposed to draft. And here we see blue-black. Ephariel is a 3 mana for a 2/3. EDB, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards or discard 1 artifact card, and has death touch during your turn. So blue-black's kind of like artifact control. This is a pretty reasonable value card. You know, if you discard an artifact, you're up 1 card. A little graveyard stuff happening too, but just a fine card, a fine draft card, nothing crazy. We have a bunch of his effect in standard already. So, you know, we have Kiora and Tursa and plenty of ways the creature draw discard. So probably not relevant and constructed, but it's a good limited card. Not a great limited card, just a pretty good one. Next up is Biomechan Engineer. This is the blue-green Signpost uncommon. Blue-green's all about ramp, lander tokens, and big stuff, and some landfall as well. And this is blue-green for a 2/2. ETB, make a lander token. That's a token that's 2 mana, tap, sack, get a basic land out of your deck shuffled, or tap, then shuffle. And this also has ability 8, draw 2, and make a 2/2 robot. That's a pretty nice payoff on both sides. So 2/2 for 2 makes a lander token is great. And then having that mana sink ability in the late in the game is great also. This is a very, very nice draft card. Big fan of this one. Really, really good draft card. Good pull into blue-green if that's what you're working on. And yeah, great draft card. Constructed, probably not, but good draft card. We see Biotech Specialist here as a red-green rare. It's a 1/3. Also ETB, make a lander token. But this one says, whenever you sack an artifact, this thing deals 2 damage to target opponent. That's pretty powerful. Right, you can imagine like a board of like a bunch of clues or artifacts or whatever, and you just put them all up and sacrifice them. I don't know exactly what deck would want this card, but it is pretty powerful. You know, small body makes a lander token. I think a 1/3 is worse than a 2/2. But still, if you're ramping and blocking, I think this card is I think this card's okay. You know, it is also really good treasures. That is true as well. So any treasure maker, treasure deck can use the secular treasures, deal damage. It is target opponent, not each opponent, so you got to choose. But yeah, I think this card's pretty cool. It feels more like an uncommon than a rare to me, honestly. But it's cool. Pretty good card. Great draft card. Constructed will definitely do stuff, but I don't know. It's cool. Next up is Cosmoglyph.
It's a trap.
Look, all right, I love Tarmogoyf, you love Tarmogoyf, but Cosmoglyph is, I don't think is very good. We have green-black for a Tarmogoyf here, an elemental Lhurgoyf. Star plus 1, typical Tarmogoyf style. This creature's power is equal to the number of cards you own in exile, and its toughness is equal to that number plus 1. So, this card requires a lot of work. Tarmogoyf was a magic card that didn't, at first, so I was there, Gandalf, all right? I helped build like the green-white deck that like put Tarmogoyf on the map and block constructed. Like I was there, you know? My buddy J-Top had the GP with it. Like, and that deck was trying to put a lot of work in Tarmogoyf. We were playing like Chromatic Star and, you know, other types and things like that. But the reality with Tarmogoyf was, what made it so good, was you just play Magic. You just play your spells. Things just die. Things just go to the graveyard. A fetch land here, a lightning bolt there, a creature dies there. And you just have this, 2 mana 4/5 that could end up being bigger. This card is the exact opposite of that. This card asks a ton of you. If you're not doing the thing, this card is a nothing. It is a blank card. And it only counts your you own exile. And more commonly, you're exiling your opponent's stuff. You have exiling removal spells or whatever else it might be. So you have to do a lot of work to make this card good. You can make it good if you have some sort of exile your top 10 cards, whatever. Now it's 10, 11, cool. But the payoff is a vanilla, big, dumb, idiot creature. No trample, no evasion, no abilities, just big, dumb idiot, Not saying this card's not going to have a home sometimes. There might be a deck that can delve or do a good thing with it and so on and so forth. Might also be a deck that, maybe you're playing a graveyard deck and they bring in Rest in Peace. And you're like, well, I got you. But I think that overall this card is extremely, extremely finicky and is going to be have very, very narrow applications. Now, I'm going to try, all right?
I am disgusted.
There'll probably be a 10 brew deck around this card, but I think that the juice here is not worth the squeeze. It's just too much work for such a little payoff. A big idiot vanilla creature is not what it used to be. It just is not that exciting. So Cosmogoyf, you've got a wonderful, hallmark tradition. You come from a great lineage of Lhurgoyfs. You've got really, really cool art. But I gotta lay down the truth here and say that you have a trap card for the multicolored section. Sorry, my friend. It's got really cool art, but yeah, not very exciting. If it was all exile, not just yours, I think we could talk more. But as it stands, yeah. Dradiran Synthesis Amalgam is next. Green white X for a rare artifact creature construct 0/1 trample. It enters with plus most encounters on it equal to the amount of mana you spent on this. So 2 mana for a 2/3, 3 mana for a 3/4. That's a good rate. That's it scales very well. Whenever you attack, you may remove a counter from each of up to 2 creatures you control. If you do, draw a card and make a 2/2 colorless robot token. This card's sweet. I don't know if this card's good enough for constructed, but in limited, this card is a goddamn house. Assuming you've got some counter stuff going on, even if you don't, the floor here is 5 mana for a 5/6 trample or whatever, that's fine. But if you have some counter stuff going on, you'll be drawing cards, making robots, doing all sorts of cool shit. This looks like a really, really, really fun draft card. I don't know if this sort of countery deck will be playable in constructed. But there are a lot of counters in a lot of places. So I think this card is, pretty cool. Also, yeah. So could be a cage card, could be, I don't know exactly, I don't know where it goes. I don't quite think it's good enough for constructed, but it's really good and limited, really, really fun card. The kind of card that I cannot wait to open in a booster pack and play in a draft. Gene Morph Imago. This is a blue-green rare. 1/3 flyer, landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, target creature has base power 3/3. If you have 6 or more lands, it's a 6/6. So at face value, this is 1/3 flyer. Next turn, play a land, attack for 3. Next turn, play a land, attack for 3. 3, 6, 6, 6. That's pretty cool. That's a really good draft card. Lot of extra stuff going on here though, with targeting things that already have counters on them. The counters go on top of the 3/3 or top of the 6/6. And then if you have extra lands coming in from lander tokens or whatever else, this can do a lot of damage very, very fast, which is cool. This plays well with Tifa. You can give Tifa base power times 3 and also double it. You could stack it like that. So could maybe be a card constructed in the Tifa deck. I would say probably not. This is a really, really good limited card. Just pretty cool stuff. Halia, Ascendant Cadet. Selesnya 5-drop, 3/3. Whenever it enters or attacks, put a counter on target creature you control. It can be this. Whenever one or more creatures you control with counters on them deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Just bonkers. Signpost uncommon for white, green, white, and limited. You know, all about counters. A lot of your cards will actually have counters on them. Deal damage, draw cards, buff things up. Just great, great limited Signpost. Infinite Guideline Station. This is apparently like the Starfleet command of this world. It's like every faction trying to work together, you know. Wooburg for a spacecraft. When it enters, make a tapped 2/2 robot token for each multicolored permanent you control. So at least this. You at least get a 2/2. It is tapped though, which is kind of a bummer. And then as station, we need 12 or more to make this into a 7/15 flying. Whenever it attacks, draw a card for each multicolored permanent you control, which will count at least this. It's a commander card, you know. It's a card I hope to open in Bronze Mythic, but without common dual lands, seems pretty hard to cast in limited, you know. But yeah, big time commander card. Not much else than that. It can be your commander because it is a artifact spacecraft. They changed the rules, right? So spacecraft can now be commanders. That's not really my department. So, you know, whatever, I guess.
Keep the change, you filthy
But, yeah.
animal.
Interceptor Mechan. This is a Rakdos Signpost uncommon. 4 mana for a 2/2 flyer. When it enters, return target artifact or creature card, give it to your hand, and has void. Put a counter on it. It's good. Just great. Flying Gravedigger with some upside. Good draft card. Nothing too crazy. You know, red black wants to do void stuff, and this is a void card. Num num num. Euthros Exile. Or is it Signpost uncommon? Is it is all about artifact aggro stuff. This card plays very well in that space. 3 mana for a 1/3 flyer. Whenever an artifact ETBs, put a counter on target creature. Not an artifact itself, unfortunately, but it's still a very, very powerful effect. You know, there are lander tokens and other artifact things, and there's also cards that make multiple artifacts. So, great card. It'd be a lot better if it was an artifact itself and said whatever another artifact, but still, powerful card. Good Signpost uncommon for blue-red artifact aggro. We see Mutinous Massacre. 7 mana for a sorcery. Choose odd or even. Destroy each creature mana value of a chosen quality, and then gain control of all other creatures. Untap them and threaten them. This is going to be the card you lose to in limited, and you just want to smash your head in the table. Like, you just...
A brilliant player can get a strong hand cracked, go on tilt, and lose his mind along with every single chip in front of him.
You're going to hear a lot of that sound effect if everyone casts this card against me. It's mostly to 7 mana win the game in limited. Constructed, unplayable. So, there you go. Yeah, we're just going to steal some stuff. And just so you know, 0 is even for all you math folks out there. Pinnacle Emissary is next. And this card is nice. All right, so we have a 3 mana, 3/3. Is it robot? Whenever you cast an artifact spell, make a 1/1 colorless drone artifact token with flying and can only block flyers. So these tokens are not really chump blocky tokens. They're more attacker tokens. It's also got warp for a blue or red. That is awesome. And it is cast an artifact spell, not an artifact ETB, but warp this thing, play a spell or two, make some tokens. Cast it from the warp zone, play some more spells. This is very young Pyromancer-esque. They don't block super well. So it doesn't have that element of the young Pyromancer part. But this is a pretty easy way to spit out a bunch of tokens, trigger all your artifact synergies, go wide, make fodder, do a whole bunch of cool stuff. And that is really, really cool. So really powerful card. Pinnacle Emissary is our best in show for the multicolored section, and it's really good. As a reminder, folks, you're just tuning in, Warp is an ability where you kind of like halfway between Evoke and Adventure, where you play it for a warp cost, it comes into play as a creature, and then at the end of turn, it goes into exile, and then you can play it from exile like it's an adventure. So kind of a way to get an early access to the abilities on the card, and then maybe you can crew with it, or you can whatever. And then in older formats, this card goes bonkers. Mishra's Bauble, Mox Opal, etc., etc. So this card's got some pretty damn high upside, pretty powerful card, and really good stuff. Best in show, also insane bomb and limited. Best in show for multicolored Pinnacle Emissary. Next up is Ragost Deft Gastronaut. This is a Boros 2/2. All of your artifacts are foods. Pay 1, sack a food, deal 3 to each opponent. And then your end step, if you gain life this turn, untap this. I don't even know what to say about this card. It's just a really, really bizarre card. This is a commander card. Sack your things, deal damage to each of your opponents, yada, yada, yada. And then each end step gains some life. Each player's end step. It's a commander card, folks. Just commander, whatever. So, in limited, this card's weird because red-white's not really about, like, sacrificing stuff, but still pretty good in limited, honestly, I suppose. But yeah, whatever. Just a casual card. Sami, Ship's Engineer. Boros, 4 mana, 2/4. This is a signpost uncommon for Boros. Bidding for end step, if you control 2 or more tap creatures, make a robot. Again, all about crewing and stuff like that, tapping your creatures, so pretty awesome payoff for that. Not too hard to play, but it's like a 2/2 immediately, which is a great value, so great limited card. Good signpost. It's the same card. Going from Engineer to Captain, wow. You got a promotion, huh? Mythic Rare, 6-drop, 4/4, double strike vigilance. Spells you cast have affinity for artifacts. Now, this card looks pretty damn clunky. It's a 4/4 for 6. It does nothing a turn you play it. Affinity is really powerful. It's really powerful with any artifact with no pip in the cost because you can just play it for free if you have enough affinity. So this card, in theory, could have the ability to just like plunk all your hand down. But as a 6 mana 2-color card, it's probably not going to happen. So it's an okay limited card. It's not really too much more. It's got some upside, but really, really clunky and expensive, and just kind of is what it is. So, Siege Ship Brood Tender. This is the Golgari signpost uncommon for Golgari just graveyard as usual. And it's mana for a 2/3, EDV mill 3 cards. 5 mana sack this and just reanimate a creature spacecraft, sorcery speed. I think that you could be playing Magic for a week and know this card's pretty good. You know, like it's very, very simple. It's a payoff. It's an enabler. It's cheap. Just do your thing, you know? You get the idea. Good card, good rate. You don't need to like bring back an 8-drop, make this card good. Just 3 for mills 3 for 2 is good enough and it has some upside. So good card, great draft card. Probably not playable in constructed. Just good card in limited. Singularity Rupture. Very bizarre card. 6 mana for a Dimir sorcery. It's a wrath that destroys all creatures. And then a number of target players each mill half their library rounded down. Damnation and Traumatize. I don't want to see that. Really weird card. You know, like milling half your library is just not, it's just a weird thing. And making your wrath cost 6 is like a lot for a wrath. So really weird card. You could play some sort of like weird mill control deck, I suppose. Or you can target yourself, where you have some sort of graveyard thing happening, but kind of weird on a wrath. Not really an enabler, just a weird card. It's a commander card, and then in limited, I think this card is pretty good, honestly. If you like just wrath and mill half their deck, that's like not a bad plan to win the game. But yeah, weird card. And speaking of weird cards, here's Space Time Anomaly. This is a 4 mana sorcery. Target player mills cards equal to their life total, equal to your life total. I apologize. So this kind of goes along with the card in the Final Fantasy set that was blue white and cared about life gain and mill. I think the exciting part about this card is more targeting yourself. Doing the kind of the glimpse the unthinkable, like graveyardy stuff. This puts a lot of cards in the graveyard, which is kind of sweet. You can mill your opponent, you know, like Jace saw some play as like, 4 mana mill 15, but there's no guarantee you'll be at 15 life or more, of course. So Maybe there's some sort of weird life gain mill deck. It's cheap enough where I'm somewhat interested. And mill does tend to be pretty good in standard against like the rampy go over the top sphere of the metagame, the mid range part of the metagame where you kind of like combo kill them. But yeah, interesting card. Pretty weird limited where like if you just cast this turn 4 of the play and mill 20 cards, you don't like definitely win, but it's kind of interesting. I don't know. It's a weird card. It's a weird confluence of abilities. It's reasonably powerful though. Then we have Station Monitor. This is the blue-white Signpost uncommon. So mana for a 2/2, cast second spell, make a flying Thopter. Really good card. I would say possibly fringe playable constructed because they had a young Pyromancer thing. I loved what was it called? Clarion Spirit. I like this card too. Great limited card. Probably not more than that, but Sir Vondam Sunstar Exemplar. Black-white for a 2/2 Vigilance Menace. Whenever another creature you control dies or is put in exile, put a +++ counter for gain 1 life. Whenever it dies or is put into exile, while its power is 4 or greater, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. I mean, like, this is a great limited card, you know, get some counters on it and kill a thing. I don't know if there's like a deck constructed that wants this card, but it's certainly pretty good rate. It's a good card, you know. Creature dies or is put into exile. Yeah, I mean, that's fun. Could be a tool for like a sacrificey deck, but kind of just a weird card. It's cool. Good stuff. I think the sacrifice deck got so many new cards. I don't know if there's room for like cute stuff like this, but. And then here's Sir Vondam the Lucent. This is the Orzhov Signpost uncommon. 5 mana for a 4/4 Death Touch lifelink. Pretty good. Whenever it enters or attacks, creatures you control get +++ Death Touch. Great. It's a great limited card. Like, really, really good. Black-white's kind of just like the go wide color pair in limited, and this is a bonkers limited uncommon. Really good stuff. Great body, great ability. It's great. Tanic Memorial Ensign. Signpost uncommon for Gruel. This is 3 mana for a 2/4 landfall. 1 damage each opponent, and then second time it resolved, draw a card. This card is something else, folks. This card is really, really good. So any lander token, any fetch land is now a card draw. This card's got potential in all formats. In old formats, fetch land, you know, deal 2 draw card is pretty insane. And the body's pretty good. It's funny how every 2/4 I see for 3, I'm like, that thing's cut down proof, but cut down's going away. It's finally rotating, you know? Like we're finally out from under the cut down jail. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, this card's really, really good. Bonkers limited card, potentially, you know, playable in constructed because the power level is quite good. But yeah, card's really cool, very powerful card. Also a Kavu if that matters. Yeah, good stuff. That's it. So our best in show for Multicolor was Pinnacle Emissary. I actually forgot to give the award, so apologies to Biotech Specialist. You were the sleeper card. I just didn't hit the button, so my bad. And then we have Cosmic Wave as our trap card, and there is no Bombin Common because there are no commons in the multi-card section. So almost there, folks. Like, comment, subscribe. We got colors left, and we got the bonus sheet left. All right. So like, comment, subscribe. I love you all. Support the content. Go follow me on TikTok and stuff. And let's do it.